Shalom Aleichem. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah through His Son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother UncleK, and we're back with another one. I hope you're having a Baruch day, and I hope right now you have a sound mind and a sound heart. Now, before we get into the content, like the content, share the content, and comment down below. And if you're not a supporter, then become a supporter right now. I just advise you to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. So let's get into it. This world is full of confusion. And this confusion, it doesn't hide in the nighttime anymore. This confusion is real bold now. Right, you start to see this confusion from sun up to sundown. It's not something that hide anymore in those crooked places. That's why you gotta walk with wisdom. Right? Now, the reason why confusion is running rampant right now in this world is because the people in the world, they made a choice. They made a choice to depart from the Most High, from Yahuwah. They chose to depart from Him. And they rather serve the world, they rather serve the beast. So when you depart from Yahuwah, you're given over to uncleanness of your heart. You're given over to a reprobated mind. You can't be led anymore. That's what's going on right now in this world. And a man that's walking with Yahuwah, don't depart. Don't depart from Him. That's the reason why you've been so consistent. That's the reason why you've been so resilient. That's the reason why you've been so strong. Because He hasn't given you unto the uncleanness of your heart. He hasn't given you over to a reprobated mind. So you gotta give praise. You gotta give praise. No matter how hard it is, no matter the difficulty, no matter the obstacles, no matter the adversity, no matter those things, you always get through it. The Most High Yahuwah always gets you through it, no matter the adversity, no matter what you're going through, He gets you through it. So do not depart from Him. You must count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, because He would lead, He would give you, He will make a way for you to get out of those things. Right? When you depart from Him, that's when calamity fall upon you. Because if you don't have the Most High, then you're going to be given over to the uncleanness of your heart, man. And that means the things of the world is going to be attached to you. That's the reason why those things happen when you depart from Him. You start to forget about Him. You start thinking it's all in your hands now. Right? And you know, that's how the people think in this world. They think that everything is up to them. They think that they're their own gods. They think that they're the Almighty. They think that everything, all the power is in their hands. That's why they walk with pride. That's why they walk in confusion. That's why there's so much confusion these days. Because of that. Right? Now let's get into these scriptures, man, so we can break this down. Romans, 1 Romans 17 through 32. And it reads, "For therein is the righteousness of Elohim revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. For the wrath of Elohim is revealed from heaven against all the wickedness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. Because that which may be known of Elohim is manifest in them, for Elohim has showed it unto them. For from the creation of the world the invisible things of Yah are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even His eternal power and divinity, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew Elohim, they glorified Him not as Elohim. Neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the incorruptible Elohim into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Wherefore Elohim also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of Elohim into a lie, and worshiped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. So be it. For this cause Elohim gave them up to vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use unto that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust towards one another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error which was met. And even as they did not like to retain Elohim in their knowledge, Elohim gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which were not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of Elohim, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of Elohim, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Now you see, all those things that's been written, all that is what's going on right now. You got women with women, men with men, both transforming themselves to take on the characteristics of the opposite. Women these days like to be around men that are transformers, right? You seeing young men these days too, at an early age, because of what's going on right now, by the leadership in the household, by the influence in society. At a young age, they're losing a natural affection already. Right? All that confusion is going on right now. And it's all because they departed from the Most High. They departed from Yahuwah. You see, and that's why you gotta make sure that you're giving him all reverence and all praises, man. For real. And you know something too, fellas? I know a lot of y'all on semen retention as well. And let me tell you something, man. Every time y'all relapse to a website or something of that nature, something unclean, right? You know what that means, right? That means that you departed from Yahuwah. You departed from the Most High. Now, when a lot of men are watching these videos, right, they're getting off watching another man in a video. That's a big reason why a lot of men out here too forgetting their natural affections. So it's a big reason why. That's one of the biggest reasons as well too. On top of them departing already. Because you departed and then you entertained yourself. So now what you just saw is now it's latched on you, and now you're gonna act it out. Now that confusion start kicking in now. And that's why we're starting to see a lot of people move like that. A lot of so-called heterosexual men that like to look like a heterosexual man, but in their deep inward parts, they got confusion going on. And a masculine man, he can see that a mile away. When you masculine, you got these laws, statutes, and commandments. You walking with these commandments. You walking with this light. All those things get revealed automatically. I'll give you all this example, right? It was one time I was going to the spot where I normally get my oils and my natural soaps, right? It was a dude over the register. He had a full-grown beard, right? And he was helping a woman, a customer, right? It was a grown woman, a grown so-called black woman, getting her little things, man, getting her shea butter, her oils, her little essential oils or whatnot, right? He helping her. I come around the corner, I'm grabbing my black seed oil. I see this dude, he looked at me crazy, right? And I'm minding my business, man. The female looked around like, hold up, what he looking at like that? She turned around and saw me. And then when she looked back at the dude, like, everything changed. Everything changed. I'm telling y'all fellas, man. The confusion is real. The confusion, those that's walking in confusion, they can't hide it, man. They can't hide it. See, the Most High is revealing things so much these days. And you got to be walking with him to allow him to reveal these things to you. You can't be afraid to ask the Most High to reveal people's intentions to you. When you in that prayer time, when you having prayer time, you got to ask him to reveal wickedness around you, reveal people intentions around you, reveal the hearts of people when you come around, so you could have even more discernment. He could increase you at a much higher echelon, right? Because when you get around people, you start to see who they truly are without having to exchange words. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people study psychology and body language all day, but we study that word. We study to show ourselves approved, right? The Most High says that I would teach you dark parables in dark places. So when you in your private abode, where you laying your head down and you praying to the Father in that secret place, he's going to be teaching you so many things. And you're going to be getting so much from it. You're going to be getting edified because you have Yahushua HaMashiach as your head. You got the Son as your head. So now the Father could tap into you and give you things to make you much sharper on this walk, because you got to pay attention, right? This confusion is real out here, fellas. It's really real. And the more that you backslide, the more that you take 15 steps back, is the deeper you're going to keep falling in, man. The Most High, he's merciful, he's gracious. And we come to a point in this walk that we know that if we keep on stumbling, we might end up like Shaul, man. He'll give you a evil ruach, and now you got, he departed from you. And now you got evil just surrounding you. Now you got no peace. You're not trying to end up like Shaul, man. You're not trying to end up how he ended up. He didn't have no more protection now. Everywhere he went, he had fear on him for the other armies of the other nations. He had fear on him, right? He had no strength. He picked up his sword. He couldn't even swing it. He wasn't strong no more. That's what happens when Yahuwah departs from you. Let us not depart, man. It don't matter how hard it get. I know we had a lot of strong things being tossed to us, but listen, it's the reason why we got to endure, right? It's the reason why we got to resist the adversary, the devil. It's the reason why. Because with resistance, you got to fight back. You got to know how to fight back, right? That's resistance. It's like what happened when people may get in trouble with the law, right? And they getting arrested, they be resisting, right? So what happened? The officers, they apply more pressure, and then them handcuffs be real tight, and then they push them down on the concrete and all that, right? Because they not trying to, just listen to what's being spoken to them. and follow the law, right? They start resisting. The officers say, stop resisting, stop resisting. That's what happens when you're being tried and tested by the adversary. You got to resist. It said, cling unto the Most High, cling unto Yahuwah, resist the devil and he shall flee. You got to resist, right? You got to resist. There's so much confusion in this world, fellas. So much, man. So you got to take heed. You got to really take heed, man. You got to read them scriptures. You gotta love them scriptures. Them scriptures gotta be written on your heart and your mind, man. You gotta be seeing. You gotta make sure that you don't have a beam in your eye. So when you looking around, when you observing the times you living in right now, that your observation is accurate. Because when you're observing, you should be able to see what's going on. You should be able to see what's going on, have wisdom of what's going on. So yeah, fellas, man, you know, this is a walk, man. This is a serious walk. It's a strong man walk. You gotta be strong in the Ruach because we don't know how much days we got on this earth, man, but every day we gotta do our best. Every day we gotta do our best. So right now, if you abstaining from sex, you waiting on your wife, you know, you gotta keep going. You're not trying to keep falling into that confused bracket. And even if you got a wife, make sure that it's your wife and your wife alone. For real. Don't be out here thinking, oh, just because you got a wife now, you could, you know, just be frantic about your actions and be releasing and all this, you know what I mean? And then finding yourself in a rabbit hole now. Don't be doing none of that. Right? So while you having this practice under your belt, meaning you putting away the iniquities, you putting away sexual immorality, right? Because you don't want to sin against your body. When you sin against your body, that's a hard sin. That's a real hard sin because this is a temple of the Most High. So once you break that down, it's like, it's hard to build that back up, man. It's hard to build that back up. And when you break it down, a lot of confusion could come in because you did it in an unclean way. And it's unclean as well too. Fornication, that's unclean too. A woman that you're not married with, that's unclean too. So either way, that confusion gonna creep in some way or some form because it's unclean. So that's why you gotta really check that. You know what I mean? You know how some of this, how on some communities, they be talking that no-fap talking about, oh yeah, you don't fap, but you can still be a whoremonger. Nah, you can't do that because then that lead to confusion as well too. You see, you gotta be on no-fap. You can't be out here masturbating, you know, doing wickedness against your own body, right? Then you can't fornicate. So when you're not fornicating, that means you're on semen retention as well too. So you gotta add the 2 and 2 together. But before those two, you gotta have Yahuwah. You gotta have Yahusha as your head. You have to. You have to. Because there's so much confusion out here that confusion out here is a wrong line. The adversary, he's the one that got all that. He's the confusion. He's the envy. He's the pride. All those things that's not of the Most High Yahuwah. It comes from him. So he's out here looking at who he can devour, and he's pushing confusion across the masses. And you got to be careful that you know, you don't get caught up in that, for real. Hope y'all been edified, man. Stay strong, fellas. Stay strong. It's a fight until the end, and you have to endure. And with that endurance, you get stronger because you're going through the experience. You know what it's like to be in a battle. So you got to fight. You got to really fight. You got to fight. You got to fight. You got to have that armor on all day, man. You got to have that armor on as soon as you wake up in the morning. That's the first thing you put on. And then you go pray. All of that. You got to have it on while you sleeping. For real. Shalom Elohim. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah through his son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother UncleK. I'm glad y'all tapped into another one. Like, share, comment down below. And if you're not a supporter, then become a supporter right now. Just advise you to tell a friend. Fellas, continue to have a Baruch day. Keep a sound mind and a sound heart. And I'll see you soon. Most High willing. Stay strong. But for now, peace.